Good evening and welcome to Week 7 here on Football Friday Night. Alongside Mike Zigai, I'm Jason Geiser, and we begin tonight with the only Western Buckeye League team that's yet to suffer a conference loss.
Yeah, Jason, Ottawa Glandorf hasn't lost a game since the season opener, which was a 7-point setback at undefeated Eastwood, but it hasn't been all smooth sailing for the Titans since, as in Week 5 they escaped Van Wert with an OT win before clinging to a 1-point victory at Salina last week. The Titans return home tonight where they have yet to lose. Shawnee will be looking to change that in hopes of snapping their 3-game losing streak. Third quarter, Shawnee down 13-0, but William Roberson swings outside, and he finds the end zone. That pulls the Indians within 7, but OG pads their lead. Eric Heapsch takes it right up the middle, keeps his legs churning, refusing to go down. He picks up the first down. The Titans get a field goal on that drive, and then in the fourth, it's Heapsch again up the middle. This time, he meets no one and walks into the end zone. The Titans win again, 23-7. Canton was handed their first WBL loss last week in heartbreaking fashion against St. Mary's. The Wildcats look to bounce back tonight against the Van Wert team, hoping to improve to 500 in conference play. Third quarter, Van Wert down big, but on 4th and long, Owen Treese connects with Drew Johnson for 6. The Cougars make it a 34-13 ball game. Same score here when Canton is backed up deep in their own territory. This pass is deflected multiple times before being picked by Tanner Barnhart. So great field position for the Cougars, who capitalize. On 4th down once again, Treese brings it back across the field before diving to the goal line for another Van Wert touchdown. All of a sudden, it's a 2-score game. On the next Van Wert drive, Treese rolls to his right, looks downfield, but the ball is tipped and picked by Jacob Eversole. That ices it for the Wildcats as they bounce back with a 48-25 road win.
Wapakoneta still controls their own destiny as they try to claim at least a share of back-to-back WBL titles. The Redskins tonight visit Bath, who's trying to get to 3-3 in league games after going winless a year ago. First quarter, Cats moving the ball. Dallin McDermott swinging the rock to Trey Johnson, who's coming right at us. He puts the shoulder down and finishes off a 17-yard catch and run, but the Cats go backwards on their next 3 plays. Third and long, Zach Rogers leads a host of Redskins to the ball carrier. Back turns it over on downs, and Wapak takes advantage. Second quarter, the give is to Connor McDonald, who bounces it outside and goes 26 yards to the house. The junior gets Wapakoneta on the board, first up 7-0. Caleb Bowen all over the place on D for Bath. Here he and RJ Cortez team up for a sack, but Wapak's too strong. The Redskins win 27-3. It's the 500th victory in Wapak program history. 3-time defending conference champion St. Mary's got back in the league race with a win at Kenton last Friday. The Rough Riders are back on their new home field tonight against winless Elida. Call this one Deja Blue, as for the second week in a row, the Rough Riders take back the opening kickoff for a touchdown. Ty Howell does the honors this week, going 90 yards. 7-0 St. Mary's quick like, and it doesn't take long to double the lead. Ethan Wedding taking this carry 52 yards all the way to the house. Make it 14-0 Rough Riders in a hurry. Elida needs to get something going. They try on offense, testing the skies, but here it's Wedding doing the defensive thing, snaring the interception, and they go back to him on offense. This time it's a 6-yard TD for Wedding. St. Mary's rolls 62-14. One other game in the WBL tonight on the western side of Grand Lake. Salina falls to Defiance 28-27.
What a showdown tonight in the Northwest Conference as 2 of the 3 defending conference co-champs square off in convoy as Spencerville meets Crestview. The Bearcats are the lone NWC team with an unblemished conference record, but the Knights are determined to change that in our Football Friday Night Spotlight game.
Football Friday Night Spotlight game brought to you by D&D Trucking and Services.
Who handed Spencerville their only conference loss last season with a 50-49 nail-biting victory. The Bearcats came into that game winners of 4 straight. Well, they come into this one tonight riding a 3-game win streak. First quarter, Josh Henline looking deep off the play action. And look at this throw, dropping it in stride for Cody Pocky, who is deep into Crestview territory. That leads to a Bearcats TD at 7-zip, Spencerville after 1. Second quarter, Crestview answers is on 3rd and long. Caden Short heaves one deep down the sideline, and it's reeled in by Logan Gerardo. 83 yards from Short to Gerardo as we are even at 7. But the Bearcats have an answer as Gunnar Grigsby takes the give and barrels his way for 6. Spencerville remains perfect in the NWC. They win it 48-25.
Allen East is still in the hunt for their first NWC title since 1995. The 5-1 Mustangs tonight play host to a Bluffton team that's dropped 2 straight coming in. Third quarter, it's Bluffton driving. Tucker Neff gets the give and gets the end zone. The Pirates are on the board, but they're down 28-7, and Allen East continues to answer the bell offensively. Bryce Belcher calling his own number from the quarterback spot. He slips a couple tackles before finally being dragged down deep in Bluffton territory. And a few plays later, Belcher keeps it again. This time he finds the end zone from 15 yards away. It's 35-7 Mustangs, and they aren't done. Belcher looking to throw, finding Braden Crumrine for 6 more. Allen East rolls 42-7.
After losing their NWC opener to Allen East, Columbus Grove has put together back-to-back conference wins. Tonight, it's a battle of the Bulldogs as Grove searches for a 3rd straight victory on the road against Ada. Grove already up 2 scores, and they add to it when Blake Reynolds heaves one deep down the field to a wide-open Gabe Clement. A long touchdown hookup makes it 21-zip Bulldogs. On their next drive, Reynolds looks deep again, and this time he connects with Alex Schneider for another long score. It's 28-0 Road Dogs. Ada would get on the board, though, when Brandon Hull swings it out to Colby Curtis. And look at the freshman go, outrunning multiple Grove defenders, taking it up the sideline, and he is in. Curtis showing off his wheels there, but Grove gets the last laugh. They win at 65-14. One other NWC score from tonight, Paulding protects their home turf against Jefferson. Panthers win at 44-38.
In the Three Rivers Athletic Conference, Lima Seniors trying to snap out of a 4-game skid. After 2 straight weeks getting shut out by the track's top teams, the Spartans return home to play a Fremont Ross SWAT that's also lost 4 straight. Third quarter, Kamian Durr gets to the quarterback, knocks the ball loose, and recovers the fumble. The senior has the Spartans in business at the 30-yard line, and here comes the offense. E.J. Cameron over the middle to Isaiah Funchess Foster, who pulls in the wet ball and gets senior high a first down. Then it's Juwan Anderson finishing the drive. Nice to have the senior back from injury. 15 yards spinning into the end zone. 20-0 Spartans. And when Fremont tries to mount a rally, Jerome Daniel gets to their ball carrier in the backfield. Lima Senior gets back in the win column, 20-7. Following back-to-back home games, Findlay heads out on the road over the next 2 weeks. The Trojans are at Oregon Clay tonight. The Eagles have lost 2 straight following their 4-0 start. Second quarter, Garrett Krupp back to pass. Out left for Ben Ireland, who hauls it in and takes it into the end zone. Findlay hands Clay a 3rd straight loss, 28-21.
We need to take our first break here on Football Friday night, but when we come back, we have highlights from league leaders in both the MAC and the NWCC. Stay tuned.
You're watching Football Friday Night. Jason and Matt, back to you. We are Crestview. We are Crestview.
Thank you, ladies. Well, it's been a tale of 2 seasons so far for Perry and USV. The Commodores began their 2019 campaign 0-3 before putting together 3 straight victories as they now sit tied atop the NWCC, while the Rams jumped out to a 2-0 start before coming back down to earth with losses in 3 of their last 4. Tonight, these 2 teams square off at Bob Lee Stadium. Perry was dominant in last year's matchup, beating the Rams 40-6. USV has revenge on their minds tonight. Third quarter, Perry in control, and Cameron Dalton is ready to run. He powers forward for a first down, and then they give it back to him. This time, Dalton scampers 31 yards and finds the end zone. Perry has a 34-zip lead, and they aren't done. Ryan Yangst looking to throw here. He can't find anybody open, so he pulls it down, and what a good decision it was. Showing off his elusiveness, Yangst cut across the field, picking up another Perry first down, and then in the 4th quarter, it's back to Dalton, who stays on his feet and finishes the drive with another touchdown. Commodores win it 48-0.
Of course, until somebody knocks them off, the road to an NWCC title goes through Lehman Catholic, who's won the championship in 5 of their 7 seasons in the league. The 3-time champs are at Hardin Northern tonight. Third quarter, Polar Bears punting up 7-0, and Lehman mishandles the ball in the rain. Owen Wetherill falls on it for the Bears, and they're in business. Wetherill now finding success from the Wildcat. He takes this rock 30 yards, busting his way inside the 5-yard line. This drive goes into the 4th quarter, and Wetherill finishes his work going up, over, and in. 14-0 Hardin Northern, and later Wetherill puts the nail in the coffin. He keeps for another score. Hardin Northern does knock off Lehman, 21-0. So let's go around the Northwest Central, where Riverside hands WG a 2nd straight loss after their 5-0 start. 6-0's the final, and Ridgemont gets their first victory of the year, beating Elgin 38-26. Now we welcome in Katie Gilhooly with highlights from the mighty MAC.
Hey, Jason, that's right. So have a seat and buckle up as we take a trip through Mac Country. We start in Coldwater tonight. Delphos St. John's making the trip south, looking for their first conference win. But to do that, the Jays will have to stop Jake Himmelgarden, a red-hot Cavs offense that put up 85 points in its last two contests alone. To Cavalier Stadium, where the #1 team in the state hopes to stay undefeated and move to 5-0 in Mac play tonight. First quarter, Jake Himmelgarden to Will Broering over the middle to get the Cavs inside Delphos territory. Coldwater inside the 10 now. Himmelgarden calls his own number and walks in with ease to put the Cavs up 7-0. Next possession, Himmelgarden looking for an open receiver. He rolls to his right. He airs it out to the sideline where Ross Weigel makes the catch with some fancy footwork, keeps it in bounds inside the 10. Next play, Himmelgarden looking to pass, decides to keep it himself, and it pays off as he falls in for 6. And Coldwater remains undefeated tonight, 49-0. Heading east to Minster, where it's 15 degrees colder and raining. Just a few Wildcats left in the student section as St. Henry comes to town on homecoming. Third quarter, Minster leads 42-0. Jacob Niemeyer on the handoff to Alex Schmidtmeyer, who muscles his way through the pile to get the Wildcats inside the 30. But Minster opts to kick on fourth down into the wind, and Brian Falk's kick is good nonetheless, and the Wildcats go up 45-0. Ensuing drive, Redskins keep it on the ground, but the rain, of course, a factor. Johnny Nixon falls on the loose ball for Minster, and the Wildcats come out on top tonight, 45-7. In other scores from around the MAC, Anna wins at Fort Recovery, 53-20. The Rockets host Coldwater next week. The #1 team in Division 7, Marion Local, wins at Versailles, 38-7. And New Bremen takes down Parkway, 40-18.
Thank you, Katie. We need to take our second and final break here on Football Friday Night. When we come back, highlights from each of the three teams trying to maintain perfect BVC records. Plus, we check out day one at the state golf tournaments. Stay tuned. As we begin the second half of the Blanchard Valley Conference campaign, 3 BVC teams have yet to suffer a league loss. One of those just so happens to be the defending Division 7 state champions from Macomb. The undefeated Panthers hit the road for North Baltimore tonight. Macomb boasts the BVC's #1 scoring offense and defense so far this season. They're up 14-7 here, and they go big play hunting. Aaron Davis airing it out to Kevon Bailey behind the D. Only one man had a shot at him. There he goes for a 90-yard pitching catch. It's 21-7 Macomb, and they aren't done. Nathaniel Miller punches this in, and Macomb rolls 61-13. Lipsix also looking for a 7-0 start to the season. The Valley's second highest scoring team has hung 100 points on the scoreboard over the past 2 weeks. Tonight they play host to Van Buren. First quarter, no score yet, but Lipsix at the goal line, and Juan Pena leaps over. The Vikings are on the board first, and now Van Buren's driving, but the Vikes defense bows up. Cole Williamson intercepts the pass, grinding Van Buren's drive to a halt, and when the offense takes the field, Williamson gets the call, shows some patience, cuts back and has a clearing. No one's going to stop him. Lipsick jumps up by 2 touchdowns, and later in the second, Drew Liffick has all kinds of time and zings this to Tyler Sickmiller, who makes the guy miss and gets a burst of speed to the house. Lipsick stays unbeaten 42-7.
Liberty Benton is the third and final team without a BVC loss. Tonight, the Eagles are in search of a 5th straight win against a Riverdale team who they beat by 27 a year ago. First quarter, Riverdale tries the screen to Lane Morris, but LB's Dylan Schimler gets there in a hurry, bringing Morris down for a loss of 6. Riverdale has it again here, but it's the Eagles' defense continuing to stand tall. Matthew Sanchez breaks through the line for a big loss as the LB offense would finally come to life. Michael Erdeljack throws the screen to Makai Jenkins, and he has plenty of running room. The speedster goes 35 yards deep into Riverdale territory. Later in the drive, Liberty Benton would finish it off as the pitch goes to Marshall Rose, who would not be denied. A mean stiff arm gets him to the edge before he squeaks inside the pylon for 6. What a run by Rose to spark a Liberty Benton explosion. Eagles win 49-zip. Around the BVC tonight, Arlington shuts out Arcadia 41-0. Pandora Gilboa wins big at home 55-6 over Van Loo. And this is Corey Rawson's week to play the league's non-conference game against Crestline. The Hornets lose 51-20.
In the NWOAL, Patrick Henry earns a homecoming victory over Bryan 35-20. Green Meadows Conference, Wayne Trace edges Ayersville by a 22-20 count. And in the Cross County Conference, Fort Loramie rolls over Tri-Village 47-6.
Central Buckeye Conference, Mad River Division, Indian Lake falls to Northwestern 20-14. Ben Logan gets blanked by Urbana 24-0. And in the Kenton Trail Division, Bell Fountain loses at Jonathan Alder 31-21.
We have hit the midway point of the Division 2 and 3 golf tournaments. So far, so good for the defending state champions from LCC. The Thunderbirds tied for first place after 18 holes. They're led by Mary Kelly Mulcahy today, who carded a 3-over round of 73. That puts her in an 8th place tie on the individual leaderboard with St. Henry's Ellen Nauman. At the D3 boys tournament, Minster's our top team thus far, sitting in 7th. We will have highlights from state golf tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great weekend.